Hi everyone, and welcome back to my piano project. Today, I'm going to be teaching you your first song. The song we're going to learn today is one of the most famous Indian patriotic songs, and it's also in Rag Pilu, which you've just learned. The name of the song is Sare, Jahan, Accha. I'm sure you've heard it. I'm sure you probably even might know it actually. And well, we're going to learn to play it on the piano. This song, the lyrics to this song were written by Muhammad Iqbal. He was an Urdu poet. And a fact that a lot of people don't know about this is that the music for it was composed by the great Bharat Ratna Pandit Ravi Shankar, my father's guru. So, let's learn this. I'm not going to show you the entire sargam notation and piano grid because that is in the book. You might have come here from reading the book, or if you might not know about the book, I've written a book companion for this course that will be linked both at the end of the video as well as the description down below. So you can look for the notation of what I'm going to be teaching you there. So in the notation that I've made for you of this song, Sare Jahan Se Accha, the right hand plays the melody while the left hand accompanies it but also plays its own melody. But the way we practice both of them is very similar. So I'm going to show you how to practice the right hand, and then you can practice the left hand on your own using the same techniques that I've shown you. And later I'm going to be showing you how to practice both hands together once we're comfortable with each hand separately. So now to practice the right hand, we know it plays the melody. So far, the first line is so now I already know this, but the first time you play this, it might not sound just as good as this. You'll probably need a bit of time to figure it out. So give yourself maybe 3 or 4, maybe even 5 times to figure out which notes you have to play in the first line itself. Once you've figured that out, play it very slowly. Do this until your fingers get used to playing it, then speed it up a bit. Once you're comfortable with this at a decent speed, go on to the next line, repeat the process. Now, once you've done the next line and you're comfortable with that, try putting both the lines together like this. Now, what we see in these songs is that there's a lot of repetitions of certain things. So, for example, is repeated many times. So after these 2 lines, we already know the third line because it's the same as the first line. So now try and put all 3 of those together. Now that is your first section of the piece. Now look at where these come back throughout the piece. Mark those for yourself, and the parts that are new, practice those, and then look at the entire piece, try and play it very slowly until you have an overview of what it looks like, and then it'll just come together like a jigsaw puzzle. But those new melodies, you have to practice exactly the same way as you practice the first line at the beginning. For example, that is the first part of that new melody. So I'm first going to practice it very slowly. Now the second part of that. And then comes something we already know. And we know that as well. So in that way, try and analyze this. Once you've got that main theme, in these songs, that main theme tends to come back a lot. So try and analyze the piece like that. Now you might ask, how do you learn to play this in rhythm? Because playing it in rhythm is very important. So try and clap for yourself at steady intervals. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you can't clap within the steady interval, try and first practice setting a metronome to a certain tempo if you have access to a metronome and clapping along to that until you get used to clapping in rhythm. And then slowly you can put the metronome away and start clapping without it, and it will be in rhythm. Now when you're playing, all you have to do is take the clapping away from your hands, put it into your head, try and visualize the clapping and play piano with the clapping. And all the rhythms that you're going to learn here aren't very complicated, and they should be perfectly fine with the 1, 2, 3, 4 clapping. So if I go 1, now I'm doing this with like this just to illustrate to you, but when I play, it's going to be in my head. So that's how you practice one hand and put it all together, get it in rhythm. Now you use these techniques that I taught you with the right hand, do the exact same with the left hand, and once you're comfortable with that, I'll now teach you how to put both hands together. So pause the video, practice this for yourself, try and practice this. It might take you some time, so maybe pause the video here, give yourself a couple of days to practice this, come back in a couple of days and start from here. Now that we have learned both hands separately and we've learned to play them at a decent pace, now putting both hands together is just as much work, if not more, because you have to remember what each hand does and put them together. So again, use the same technique as when you practice with hands separate. Start very slowly and just try and piece it together. Again, go line by line. Now you should know all the material, so the process of discovering unfamiliar material won't necessarily apply here, but you still have to go line by line, try and practice everything and just go very slowly. Only speed something up from the bare minimum tempo when you are 100% comfortable with it. So now if I play a portion of it for you, it should sound like So if you have that flow of what you play, then once you have that flow when you're playing slowly, try and speed it up. And once you have that, then move on to the next raga. The next raga we're going to be learning is Rag Malahari, which is the South Indian raga. Thank you.